Well, we're very pleased to be welcoming back one of our favorite guests this evening. Natalie MacLean is a wine expert and author who also holds the title of World's Best Drink Writer. She spends most of her time in Ontario these days, but she's always happy to visit us to show her maritime roots. Welcome back to the CTV News at 5, Natalie.
It's great to be here, Star. Thank you.
What brings you here this time around?
Well, it's always friends and family at this time of the year, and we're back home. We're enjoying some fresh Nova Scotia seafood, some great wines, but it's, you know, the family around the table that also makes it a great experience.
That's the most important, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Now, you've brought along a selection of wines from our region, and my first question would be, since you travel the globe and try to find great value wines from across the world, how do our wines compare in the grand scheme of things?
They compare very, very well. I must say, you know, we've got lots of evidence too. It's not just being patriotic or whatever. Benjamin Bridge, for example, was one of 2 wines selected to go to the Olympics this year to represent Canada. So what that meant is that the High Commissioner for Canada was pouring Benjamin Bridge at all the receptions during the Olympics and showcasing what our wines can do here from coast to coast. But we've got lots. The Nova 7, also from Benjamin Bridge, sold out in Ontario.
I was very surprised to hear that.
Absolutely.
This one really took off.
It sold out. But what I'm really excited about these days is the Tidal Bay appellation. And that, to me, is kind of like the liquid essence of maritime hospitality. It's crisp, it's fresh, it literally, I don't know if it's the power of suggestion, but for me it's infused with the ocean, that spray, that refreshment. It's an aperitif, but it also really drinks well with our seafood.
And it's really important to do some good matching when we're picking wines.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, it's also on trend, the Tidal Bay wines, because we are moving away from heavier, alcoholic, oaky, buttery wines into these lighter wines, just as with food, we're moving away from fried and heavy dishes into salads and seafoods and that sort of thing, and they're just made for each other.
And speaking of food, I think of all the beautiful berries and fruits that we have, and you've brought along some selections from Prince Edward Island where fruit wines really are quite popular.
Absolutely. So from Rossignol we have one of my favorites is this Raspberry Festival, and it truly is a festival for your mouth. It makes my mouth very happy.
That's a good thing.
It's like a pie in a glass, and so if you love the essence of raspberries or blueberries or whatever, these wines are terrific. A lot of them are dessert wines, but they also make dry styles.
This one caught my eye because I particularly like the bottle. We're getting creative here as well.
I was a real sucker for that bottle. I was like, oh, that's cute. But that's a after dinner drink. It's a fruit-based wine, but it's been fortified, so it's definitely after dinner.
Is it easier to find a good value wine these days?
Absolutely. You know, there's a lot of factors, so there's more competition than ever. You know, if we look at Nova Scotia alone, there are now 14 wineries. That's expected to double by 2020 in terms of the hectares, the vineyards planted. The number of wineries, I think, actually will go up to about 20. So we're experiencing real growth, more competition in the liquor store for your dollar, better technology, better techniques, knowing what you do well. And that's what Tidal Bay is about. It says we know what Nova Scotia stands for. This is what we taste like when we're in the glass. You know, come join us. You know, it's an invitation, a liquid invitation to have a taste.
Oh, a liquid invitation. I like that term. Did you just come up with that?
Oh, yeah. It just slid out there.
So here's a big question. We drink we eat certain foods during the summer months, and then when we turn into the fall, we kind of change our eating habits. Should we change our drinking habits as well? Should our wines change with the seasons?
They can, although, you know, if you like something, there's no hard and fast rules. Just as if you love a big honkin' Australian Shiraz, have it with the fish. You know, if it doesn't work out, have a bun in between. For goodness sakes, don't, you know, stick with what you like, but also experiment. So I do change my wine wardrobe in the winter, so I'll go to heavier, more robust reds. In Nova Scotia, that might be Maréchal Foch or Baco Noir. We're also doing the classic varietals as well, in terms of Cabernet blends and some really exciting things happening in the Annapolis Valley with like Gaspereau vineyards. So yes, I would switch, and because, you know, you get into heavier, more flavorful dishes in the winter too. Very comforting.
I wanted to ask you about your app before we wrap up, because last time you were here, we talked about that. Is it still going strong, and what are you learning from your subscribers? What are they teaching you about?
Well, they're teaching me a lot. They comment on everything from misplaced commas to, are you crazy? But the app has been downloaded 160,000 times. It's free. People can find it through my website because I have it for iPhone, BlackBerry, Android. Thank you for this introduction here.
You're welcome.
But at NatalieMcLean.com. And what it allows is you can go into the liquor store and scan the barcode, and up will come my reviews, the scores, the food matches, everything for that wine. And all of these wines from Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, PEI are also on the website. So I've got the full gambit there.
That's fantastic. And we did say it's free.
We did say it's free at
that?
NatalieMcLean.com. Your bottle's in the mail.
Oh, there you go. Thanks very much,
Thanks,
Natalie.
Star.
I hope you'll come back to visit us next time you're in the
Absolutely.
Maritimes.
Thank you.
You know Natalie McLean. She's a wine expert and an author. You know her website as well, but we also put a link on ours to get to yours, so you can find that at ctvatlantic.ca. Now we'll head over to Bruce.
And now we'll introduce you to the